We have the August 14th meeting minutes in front of us. Is there any additions or corrections to those minutes of August 14th? And there's probably a few vouchers running around here. I signed a few checks. The vouchers in order. If everything's in order, I need a motion to accept the August 14th meeting minutes and pay the bills. Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the August 14th meeting minutes and pay this month's current bills. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Before we go into the ongoing or old business, we have a budget hearing at 6:30. So whatever we're doing at the time, we'll get together after and have our budget hearing at 6:30. We have the old business and the sidewalk program. We have survey results here. Anybody want to enlighten me?
Didn't get a large number of surveys. So we did get some properties high, 92% were residential that responded to the survey, 8% commercial. 0% rated their sidewalks in excellent condition, 39% somewhere small cracks, 39% large cracks or breaks, and 22% had no sidewalks on their property. When asked if they were interested in replacing their sidewalks on their property, 23% responded with yes, 22% no, 55% maybe. If approved for replacement, would you do the work yourself or hire a contractor? 15% responded they would do the work themselves, 85% would hire a contractor. The last one changed with the last two surveys. If approved, which option would you be more apt to apply for? 0% opted for set amount per foot, 50% split between 50% of the cost, or the city pays for concrete, owner pays labor and other materials. Prior to the last two surveys, that's what evened it out. If the city pays for concrete, owner pays labor and other materials, a little higher than the other one up to that point, so it's split down the middle. There were only 3 comments that were submitted when asked if there's anything I'd like to share. One of them was asking about the possibility of handicap accessibility on corners. And then another one said there's no sidewalks on their block. And the third was, this is a great idea to promote sidewalk improvement.
Does this ordinance address the handicap accessible on the corners that are on the, more on the sidewalk? Close to the curb and whatever section that is.
That would be something you would have to
We'd have to address that. Let's see, your guys' thoughts on that. What do other cities do for that? Is there more of a 50% participation on any of that handicap stuff?
On the handicap part, it's not listed on their website. In some cases, I've seen the resolutions and ordinances. Some do it by resolution, others by ordinance. And it does list handicap accessibility on the corners. Others are big enough, others does not. That doesn't mean they don't ask for that in application, because what I'm saying is online.
Comments, council? Somebody want to go first?
Are you aware about what we spoke about last meeting? When you were here to do?
No.
Yeah, just on that.
We did.
Well, that's preliminarily kind of what we, have you got those notes?
And here, split the financial allotment, 50% of the funding available to residential properties, 50% available to commercial properties. On the residential, the governing body agreed to set a cap of $1,200 for each approved residential project.
That's how far we got last meeting. And I mean, dissect that, we were, Brady brought it up, which is a good point, I think. Brady mentioned it where, you know, we allotted X amount of dollars budgetarily for the first year, and a couple commercial projects would burn that up pretty quick, so we wanted to, you know, split that 50-50. So we had some reserve for residential versus commercial, or vice versa, however it worked. That's what we were thinking. Okay. And that was kind of the consensus of the council to go that direction. That way everybody had a fair chance. Sure. And we're also pretty sure we're going to screw this up for the first year. There's so many ways to do this.
Understand. Then,
And we didn't even discuss handicap accessible.
No.
any other comments, you guys?
In terms of the handicap accessible, if somebody's got a good sidewalk, I don't really think that we should force them to take out the curb and handicap or the side, you know, even the first two sections to put a handicap in. But I think if they're gonna participate in this program, that ought to be required on corner lots.
I totally agree. Is that in here that they're required to put in handicap accessible on the or anything?
Now, of course, the business district would be by state guidelines and of course.
I think we need to do it for residential as well.
I agree.
Because we need to stay in compliance, and basically too is, you know, we got our older generation, we got wheelchairs and any electric vehicles. And snow removal is way easier.
Well, anybody putting concrete in, they're gonna much rather put a handicap ramp as put the curb in.
Should we put in some language in? I'd like to see some language in there that when approaching streets or whatever, that their handicap accessible are required. Council thought on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to add that language. Like for instance, first year, of course, this year's running short if we don't have any participants to use the funds. I'd like to see the funds carry over, be part of the total for next year.
Yeah.
Was that, but that's just a council decision, I guess. Is there any other language we need to work on other than that? And when we start winging it, we'll run into problems, we'll just address it at each issue.
That's kind of,
When we look at how to reimburse them out.
so I was kind of brainstorming on this. There's gonna be a lot of people that can't afford, if we do, we pay for the concrete and they got to pay for labor, they're just not gonna pay for labor. And we want these sidewalks to be done right, one and last. And then if we do 50% of cost, there's still that other 50%. And if you girls say it's just not feasible, is there a way to tell me, I mean, I'm accounting way that the city could loan the money for the other side and put it on their water bill or something?
We wouldn't be able to do it on the water bill. On the
Okay.
utility bill.
How do they do golf carts? Or golf dues?
They have to be paid like in 3 installments that is done by the end of summer.
But how do you mechanically handle that through your accounting system?
We keep a spreadsheet.
What?
We keep a spreadsheet.
They have to go in and pay, it's not, they can't
Yeah.
automatically pull your payment.
They don't?
No,
We would, to do it with concrete, we'd have to set up another system or another process.
I would not, we could get track of it, that's not my issue,
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how clean.
Yeah, I mean,
The city does automatic drafts on water bills.
Right, but if we do it on anything else, it costs.
Like-
It's a large setup at the bank, because we looked at it for the golf course, it wasn't financially feasible.
What type of costs are there?
I have to
Yeah.
look at that.
We're
It's been
a
several
city,
months
we're
ago.
here for convenience.
Mhm.
You know, if it cost a grand or two to do it.
Thought process on the sidewalks, there's been reimbursement where if it qualifies, I'd have to double check with the auditors. Once that proof of payment is submitted, we should be able to cut that check immediately because the application would be approved.
Yeah.
Versus bringing to the council for approval, which sometimes, then it'll take a couple of weeks or 3, depending upon meeting.
Well, I would like to have it set up for, if we do finance something for a homeowner to, have it automatically pulled.
I'm confused. Are you suggesting that the city would loan money to anyone who wanted to do this program? Is that what you're
That's
saying?
what I'm, yeah. If it's possible. I mean, I like know if it's.
I mean, the
Like
city's not a
something
lender,
economic development.
so
Didn't we talk to them about that?
the city isn't
They were
a
gonna
lender.
ask if it was gonna raise property taxes. I don't know if that got brought up, it wasn't in the minutes, but they did deny using it.
Private property.
Yeah, it's not a special assessment.
But
value.
it does to an extent. I did talk to them and Anna said, they don't measure out the sidewalk when they're figuring if they do it against the overall value of the property.
What?
Similar to driveways and fences. Because fences, they don't go in and
I just meant,
reevaluate specifically for that, but it's included in the overall.
Well, and this isn't something that has to be done in the first year too. This could be part of just getting the program established. I just think there's gonna be people
I think there will be too.
that just can't, they wanna do it, but they just can't do it, but they could probably do the payments.
I think but I mean, if that's the case, then they can definitely get a loan from the bank, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I just think that maybe it puts the city in a situation where you have a lot of tiny collections cases that,
I'd be trying to get a loan from our bank.
well,
I agree with you, Kevin, but I think Brady's suggestion, I think our take rate is gonna.
there was at the last discussion, there was a conversation about could it be combined with a Jumpstart grant or something like that? Is it possible that you would qualify?
Did you discuss that at your?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I read that.
Yeah, it's in the minutes, and the Economic Development Board was reluctant to use the sales tax dollars for sidewalks. But they did see a place where the cleanup grants for residents or for commercial could be used to clean up the old sidewalk before the new was put in. But they didn't want to see sales tax dollars matched with property tax dollars to reduce the owner burden.
I understand, and I think that's a good move. Well, on the first year, we can go ahead and, like I say, move forward on the resolution and address any payment programs if they come up this year. How we handle them, and then it gives us time to maybe put something together for the following year's budget.
I mean, we talked about last meeting, this isn't good, we're gonna screw this up, so we're gonna have to readdress this in a year or two anyway.
Is there,
To move forward, the resolution in here is not one to adopt at this point. It's just some beginning language. However, I've highlighted on the second page, that would be whether it would be 50% of cost, 50% of concrete, for the city, probably under fixed or other materials.
is there specifications in here?
If you go to this, number 5, program benefit, and that resolution.
Even specifications they have on the sidewalk.
Right.
I don't know.
We can add in, of course, the corners.
Well, we need to have specifications on the sidewalk.
We will have all of that addressed.
Yeah,
and
Why
on the
did-
application as well.
Yeah, they need to be consistent.
And that's something that the application lines out completely, and then that would come in for review before approval and before the reimbursement is completed. Then, of course, the project itself would have to be reviewed to make sure that it was done to specification.
What was anybody's suggestion with thickness?
4 foot wide, 4 inches thick,
Is 4 enough?
what handicap accessible is.
Yeah.
48
I didn't know
inches.
if you had 2 electric scooters, could they meet on 4 foot?
No, probably not, but
Is a 5 foot
you start
handicap
going,
accessible?
you start going wider than that, I mean,
You gotta
sidewalks
catch
are
your,
different all over town, so.
yeah, you gotta catch your concrete. I mean,
And then you have to match your neighbors to an extent too.
Well, true, but I don't want to put in on the safe routes, anybody know what the specifications were on those? I think those are 5 foot.
And those are along some of those main lines, I believe. If I look at that again, I have to take a look. Along Main Street was to be wider.
Yeah.
Than the other residential area, but I don't recall in any other areas as wide other than, of course, business district, which isn't addressed in that specifically.
I think if you threw a tape measure on the width of that, that's 60 inches there.
Probably.
Tape.
So, maybe.
And I think, my opinion is the whole ones that's connecting like on Main Street definitely ought to be at least that wide. We need to put write up specifications on this. For width. Anything addressed about safe routes? Because at one time we had the city was mapped out for safe routes.
Yeah, we still have that program. We have not been approved so much on that. Our hope is to maybe try again with that and do the
But if-
Main Street and Highway 36 on the city side.
But if someone, a residential owner wants to put their sidewalk out there, that would be part of the future program for safe routes or designated for safe routes, it needs to be safe routes specifications. So if that ever program comes in, at least the program can match up to the people that's already on the route.
I've never seen specifications, I don't think we have anybody that qualifies, so.
Yeah, I was on that committee a couple of years ago. I'm thinking they were all talking 5 foot width at that time. And,
We'll have to pull that program and take a look at it.
Elena's gone. Is she still around?
Yeah.
She's gone.
But we have the program
Laura
information.
Agnew. Laura.
Yeah, she's not part of it anymore tonight.
Okay.
Is there a difference between street frontage and street right of way?
I don't know what frontage is, the right of way is about 25 foot from the back of the curb.
Okay, is it limited to the public sidewalk, which is on the street frontage, comma, that being on the street right of way? That's from the building to the street.
Yeah, so that the frontage is the sidewalk that you're walking parallel to the property, or the starting out the property.
Yeah, it wouldn't protect, it wouldn't,
You wouldn't go up to a building.
it wouldn't, yeah. it
No,
would-
no, but
And in the right of way, the sidewalks are in the city right of way.
Yeah,
because
so
they-
most all the cities, all the sidewalks in town are on the city right of way.
they are in the city right of way.
Within
Okay,
25 foot of the back of the curb.
okay.
And then
Usually
what
most of them, that's where they put.
and what he's talking about parallel is the one that goes with the street.
Right.
So if you have a walkway from the curb to your front door,
That's no good.
that's not part of it. I think there ought to be language in there
It does, it says shall not include any sidewalk serving as an approach or entrance in
Yeah,
the
that would be
property
an
approach or any structures thereon. Okay. I'm just concerned, and this is just me, that my neighbor wants to do it I don't wanna do it, so there's nice sidewalk till it comes to my property, and then there's no sidewalk. I know there's nothing you can do about that.
That's what they call peer pressure.
Yeah,
Maybe, maybe you like your neighbor's yard, so next year you apply. I don't know.
Well, and there's gonna be a lot of that, Don, and then,
I
you
know,
know,
that
it's gonna be a
goes
lot
like
of
crap.
that. So you know, in order to launch a program, you gotta create a little peer pressure.
I was just thinking that my